Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you for tuning in for another update on the portfolio. So two biggest things that I'll be talking about in this video that's happened that's crazy this week was a couple of options trade that I made. I haven't done options since the start of this series, so doing a couple of those and sharing them with you, it's gonna be quite exciting for me. Secondly, there also has been some massive changes in my portfolio. In this last week, we saw some craziness from the market where it kind of started on a really all-time high, and then throughout this week, it just kept going down and down and down, presenting a buying opportunity, which I did. So lots of great updates to share with you guys. All right, so let's get started. So my portfolio is currently at $172,000. Sounds like it went up, but it actually did not go up that much. This is because just today I made another deposit of about $4,500 Canadian, which I converted to US dollars because I'm looking to additionally buy the dip. I am seeing that the market is probably going to go up pretty soon as we get close to the US Thanksgiving. So with prices at a huge bargain compared to earlier this week, I've just been buying and I added this money so I can buy up some more. So at the beginning of this week, I was up to 171,000 before the drop in the stock market where my where the price of my portfolio went down to about $168,000. And that's why, with the $4,500 that I added today, you're now looking at about $172,000. So let's see where everything is at. So firstly, my cash holding hasn't really changed. I'm still at about $12,000. Again, it's so important to have cash on the side because, in my opinion, a lot of times having that cash on the side is kind of like the contingency plan or, the emergency button if things or trades don't go your way. This week has been a very good example of that. A lot of crazy things happen, and my cash reserves was really what's saving me on a couple of trades. And ultimately, the majority of my trades all went well. So, yeah, I'm still holding a cash of $12,000, and it's so imperative that I have that on the side for a rainy day in the stock market. Going to my TFSA, the first big change that you're going to notice is that I sold my ENCL. Okay, I was up on that quite a bit. My average was about 18 in the high 1800s, and we did see oil go up quite a bit, up to about 21 high 21 before pulling back, and it dropped all the way down to the 19s, and I wasn't really hoping to sell at that price. But so when I did see ENCL go up to the 20s, I did think of selling. Now, it's not just because of price action that I sold ENCL, it's also because I've been looking at the future trends, and I don't think oil is going to be doing very well in the near future. So I sold ENCL and I reinvested that money elsewhere. My new big position in my TFSA is in YMET. So YMET is a purpose ETF that follows Meta. So I decided to buy Meta using the money that I sold for ENCL. I currently have about close to a $10,000 position that I bought into, and it's currently down. My average price is $20.71. It's currently trading at 19.70. That's just the way it was this week. I bought somewhere midway into the week, like Wednesday, and up till Friday, it just dropped. But I'm okay because this is my TFSA. I'm looking to hold some of these for a longer period of time. So all good with Meta being at the price that it is right now. Moving on, I still haven't sold my Tesla yet. So my YTSL ETF with purpose that follows the Tesla price. Currently, it's at 23.72. I'm up 32%, but it went as high as about 40 to 43% that I was up with Tesla. Lastly, the newest position that I do have is I did buy a new position into RS. RS is the Real Estate Split Corporation. I decided to buy some RS because earlier RS did do a reverse split, so I with that, RS's price went down quite a bit from about the $13 range down to the mid 12s. So I picked some up at around 12.48, but it's still currently dipping since then. But that's fine because it's paying me a dividend. In fact, I did have a dividend come in for RS just today. So RS paid me a $78 dividend just for holding it. So can't complain. I'm not worried about it at all. All right, so non-registered account is where most of the action is going to be with my portfolio. So you're going to see a lot of big changes, starting from the things that didn't change. Coca-Cola did not change, still holding on to it. Price is still dipping. So I did nibble and buy a few shares here and there on Friday yesterday, when it was at about the 61s, high 61s, just to lower my average just a little bit. Moving on, Google. Oh man, I've actually been in the green since I first purchased Google. But now with the market dropping as heavily as it did on Friday, yesterday, I'm now officially in the red with Google. Again, not too worried about that. I did also increase my position into Google as well, so I bought some additional shares, and I think it averaged down my overall price to 174.92. I'm still down about 59, 0.59%, but not worried at all. I do think that, again, just like my thesis has been for the last couple of videos, Google is definitely a 200 plus per share company. Moving on, I have started two positions on SCHD and SCHG. Both of these products are offered by Schwab. Okay. But the difference between SCHD is that this one is a little more focused on dividend, and SCHG is more focused on growth. After buying this, I did get a bit of buyer's remorse. My overall plan for buying this is that I was always going to buy this. Um, and as my portfolio was going to increase and my US dollar supply was going to increase, that I was going to slowly start to buy into a couple of these really great, king dividend ETFs in the US. So SCHD was kind of my target. So I bought that and I'm currently happy with it, even though it is a little down. But I'm not too sure why I bought SCHG. It's just another ETF that, is growth, which is good in and of itself. I have no problems with the product. It's just that because I'm doing so much growth already in my non-registered account, I'm not too sure why I decided to go for ETF. I'm looking more into faster growth with single stocks. So I felt like this was really redundant. And I, somehow found myself with a $1,100 position in SCHG. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. I think as soon as this kind of turns green, I'm just gonna sell out my position and put it somewhere else. So these are two new positions that I've started. Additionally, I've also increased my Visa position. Before I was at about $1,000, but now I'm up to 3,000. And even though Visa, I mean, the stock market has been quite bad this week, Visa is still moving up. Currently, it's at 309, so I can't complain. So when I did increase my position into Visa, I was buying at a price higher than what I originally got into with. So now I'm at 297, which is higher than what my average was before. But I can't complain because Visa just keeps going up, keep being king, keep being boss, and now my overall return is about 120, despite the fact that my average did go up. So loving Visa right now, nothing to complain about. XSU, this is another position that I started this week. It's a Canadian position that I started. Basically, it's BlackRock's ETF that follows small caps. So those of you who are following, what's happening with the market as a result of the U.S. election and Trump coming into power. This purchase was really because to capitalize on the growth that small stocks are going to see. So I did talk about this with my father-in-law, and just to be clear, A lot of big names out there have said that, small caps are going to grow with this number of 100% in the next, 12 months. And that's might sound, I don't think they're trying to be misleading, but if you don't listen to it correctly, you may have understood what they're saying. They're not saying that in the next 12 months, small caps is going to grow by 100%. So if small caps is at $40 right now, that you can expect small caps to be at $80 in a year. What they really meant was the growth is going to be at 100% in comparison to the overall market, which would be, let's say, the SPY. Okay, so if the SPY goes up 10% in the next 12 months, then we can expect small caps to go up by 20%. So it's not really 100% growth that we're looking at. It's actually just 100% in comparison to the overall market. So I did start buying into small caps this week as well, but I feel like I did buy a little early. Small caps shot up like crazy at the beginning of the week, and I was kind of buying it as it was pulling back, but it just kept on pulling back even more throughout the week. So now my average is kind of not the best. Stock price is at $44.36. I bought in with an average of $46.57. Kind of went a little fast on this one, but I am planning to hold this stock with a plan of about 12 months and just, capitalizing on the growth throughout that period. So I think eventually it is going to turn green, just a little longer than I want to because I did jump in a little quick. All right. Now let's talk about a couple things that I really, really want to talk about. I have a lot more to say about them. Spotify is the next one. Spotify, I have now started a new position in this one. Spotify has just been kicking butt this year. It's up about 160%. And might sound crazy to get into Spotify now that it's run up so much, but I still believe that Spotify has still some more growth, room for growth. I think it's going to probably move into the 500 point, at which my plan is to sell around then. So I did start buying into Spotify on Thursday and Friday. Um, Especially yesterday, Friday. I started buying earlier in the morning. As you can see, from the morning of Friday, it just kept going down, down, down. So about starting at about 468, I started buying, and as it went down, I just kept on nibbling some more. Now I'm at about an average of 468. Stock price is $10 lower, but I'm okay. I still think that this is going to go up to 500. That's probably when I plan to sell. All right. The next position that I got myself into was SoundHound. SoundHound had its earning report this week, and actually the earnings report was good. Guidance was also very strong, so there was nothing to really worry about. But again, just like this pattern that we've been seeing with this earnings report season, that everything is just going with inflated prices into the actual earnings report. And so when no matter how strong the earnings report turn out to be, the price just keeps going down. So as I saw SoundHound going down after its earnings report, I did decide to get some more. This is again just like another phase that I see SoundHound and some of these other stocks go through. There is that initial buildup of price and then a pullback. And my plan right now is to buy into these pullbacks. So I did start about $1,000 position into SoundHound with an average of about $6.96. SoundHound was at about high 70s, like 770, um, at the peak of the earnings report, and then it dropped since then. So I was picking up at it as it was going to the mid sevens. Actually, never mind, never mid sevens. I think I started in the 720s, and then as I kept on dropping into the sixes, I picked up some more. In the end, it just averaged to about 696 with my average. I don't plan to actually put in any more money into this. I could if I want to, see this in the green a little faster. But yeah, another way to kind of reduce risk is to have a smaller position. I just never saw myself with the intents of putting more than $1,100 into this. So I'm okay just waiting a little longer for this to swing into the green, and I'm probably looking to sell maybe at 720, 730. Probably taking a bit of a smaller profit on this when it happens, just because I think I didn't do the best at buying low. But another stock that I am a little happier in my attempt to buy low was SoFi. So SoFi, just along with the rest of the market, has been going down this week. So it's been down since, the highs of about, 1430. So I started to buy in SoFi starting on Thursday as well. And I poured about $1,600 into this, with an average of 1337. So I definitely did well in accumulating this one. At 1337, with the stock price being at 1363, I'm already in the green right now, even though it's been on a downward trend. So definitely feel good about how I bought into this one. But I was planning to hold it right now because it was just going to be a quick, swing. I bought this, on Wednesday, starting Wednesday and Thursday, and this could have been like a 1 day swing because Friday we saw that it did go up quite a bit. But I decided, let's go for a little more. I think that, if I put this money into another stock, it just won't move as quickly for me. So I'm planning to maybe sell it once SoFi gets close to $15. That's kind of where I'm planning to go this one. All right, now we're moving on to the juicy stories. First of all, I've accumulated big positions into Amazon. So first into the Canadian hedged Amazon stock. I've bought about $2,000, $2,700 into this one. It's a little down right now, down 4%, but not too worried. But I also bought into the US Amazon stock as well. So I started buying probably, Thursday and then also Friday. My average is about $205, which is significantly lower than where it kind of peaked earlier this week at 214. But Amazon just kept on dropping a little more than that. So, I did the best I can for this one, but didn't get at its bottom price of 202, but at 205 I can't complain. I'm not down too much, just about 1%. I do believe in Amazon, and I probably plan on selling this when it gets more into the mid high 200s. But when it happens, I'm probably going to reevaluate. Maybe I want to keep it for a little longer just because I like Amazon. This is a stock that I can see myself holding for the long term. But I think in terms of my plan, I knew that I wanted to get in at these prices, but I haven't confirmed whether I want to sell it, let's say, when it hits a certain price, or if I want to hold it for a full year. So that's still the question right now. All right. And finally, the big one I want to talk about is Palantir. Oh my goodness. Made the biggest mistake this week. You guys may not know this, but look at my last video. I had about a $6,000 to $7,000 investment into Palantir. My average was eventually $52 since I last sold when earnings report happened. Um, and things were going great. Palantir just kept on moving up, kept on moving up, and I was up about 20% on Palantir. Um, so when Palantir hits a price of $63, but I don't know what happened. Something clicked in my mind on Thursday, but if you can look at Thursday, Palantir really dropped from about $63 down to about 58. And normally this doesn't scare me, but I don't know what clicked in my mind that day. I think maybe it's just, part of it is that I have, a full-time job and also have my, second job, which is my side hustle that I've been stressing about this week. And also the fact that, I do have a family, and sometimes when you are, you know, the head of a household, stability kind of creeps into your mind. So I think something clicked in my mind on Thursday morning that, hey, like this is great gains already. Maybe let's take some profits off the table. Who knows where Palantir is going to go from here? It is overvalued. I do believe that, people are willing to pay even higher prices for it, but how long is that going to be in the future? And I think that uncertainty just kind of made me think, hey, why don't we just take some profits off the table? So I decided to sell. But I think that was just me, just second guessing myself. After I made that sale, I actually bought call options on Palantir. So it's like I still, based on that action, I still did believe in Palantir. I just was selling it because I thought that I had this, additional responsibility to be safe. So I decided to liquidate my whole position on Palantir. I made about $1,000. I sold at about $59.90. But of course, the stock market always comes and surprises you, right? As soon as I sell that, on Thursday, at the end of the day, the news comes out that Palantir was now moving to the Nasdaq. And as soon as that news came out, Palantir skyrocketed from $58 all the way to on Friday $66. So let's look at what happened on Friday. Basically, Palantir went to 65.58. There was some points that it hit $66. Had a high of $66. So I'm just like, oh my God, like why did I go against my old thesis? So I am kind of back into Palantir. I'm just starting with a very small position, $658, because I do think that a lot of the growth that happened on Friday yesterday was hype. We could see a bit of a pullback. Look at this all-time high. It's at 66 flat, not 66.20, not 66.80, 66 flat. You know this is hitting at a resistance point. Market makers are going to start selling, and there's going to be some heavy resistance there. So in terms of time, getting past this next point of resistance, who knows, right? So I decided to start a bit low, just about $658 at $65.87, but with the plan to buy more. And that's exactly why today I added $4,500 to my account. This is money that was coming in from my side hustle anyways. So because of the whole Palantir thing, I decided to turn all of that $4,500 into US dollars. Oh, just a quick interesting fact. I actually did a lot of comparisons this week, and the conversion on Wealthsimple is actually not too bad. What I'm talking about is the conversion rate between Canadian dollars to buy US dollars. With the $4,500 that I converted today, for example, I was able to get $3,133.45 for that. That was actually not bad because when I went to the bank earlier today, I actually got a quote on how much it would cost if my bank um, were to do the conversion, and they said that I would only get $3,080, which is actually with Wealthsimple a $50 more if I converted with Wealthsimple, right? So, and then I did a few other comparisons. Another place had roughly the same price, and there was another one that was maybe $40 cheaper. I could have done this conversion with $4,500 and I would have got $3,180. But the thing is, that location in proximity where I live is about 15 kilometers and full of traffic. In the past, when I used to go there, I'd take about an hour and a half there, an hour and a half back, 3 hours on the road. I just feel like, for 3 hours of my time and also the gas that I waste on the way there and back, for $50 is just not really worth it. So I might actually just stick to just converting more money on Wealthsimple at lower amounts. If it becomes more of a bigger amount, yeah, I'll probably go to my go-to place. But other than that, yeah, Wealthsimple doesn't have a too bad of a conversion rate. Okay, also wanted to share with you a bunch of trades that I made this week. I have been, you know, going crazy this week. We saw with, how much the market dipped, that I was just doing whatever it takes to to do quick swings, like 15-minute swings, 2-hour swings, 1-day swings, just to make a bit of money with my trading ability to kind of minimize the loss. So, and I did okay. So, but some of it was very, very small, but they were almost all wins. So I just want to show you a couple of the trades that I made. So the first one was I did sell some of SoFi at the gain at 1370, so that was good. I did do some options as well. So if you look on Friday, so I knew that yesterday, even before the market opened, that SPY was going to go down probably an insane amount. So I did buy a put. So those of you who are not familiar with options, a put means that I expect the price to go down. Okay. If you expect the price to go down, you will start making money as the price of the stock goes down. If you do a option, which is the opposite of a put, you will make money as the price of that stock goes up. So I bought a put, um, knowing that the stock market was going to go down. So if you look at what I bought at 8:28 a.m. at 78 cents, which is actually just translates to $78. and then I sold it at 8:41. So 15-minute trade, and I sold it when the contract was at $1.12. So I made a quick $50, roughly, doing this quick options trade. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. This one eventually went to about, 170, 183 at one point. But the thing is, if you look at the options that I bought on a zero DTE, which meant that it was only good for one day. This contract was going to expire in one day. I had virtually no time, just Friday, for the price to go where I want to go. So when I saw the 30% gain, I got that and I just got out. Um, MasterCard, another quick swing that I did. I saw that MasterCard tends to sell at a discount after hours. So when the market closed on Thursday, I bought a few shares at about 520. And then I sold it on Friday in the morning at 521. It's really not really nothing, like a dollar and a bit, dollar and change, but um when you have the transaction rates as good as Wealthsimple, virtually zero, that even, when it goes up by a dollar, you can make, a bit of profit, right? So, might as well I did that just for that. So that was one. Tesla, same thing. I bought some Tesla, the Canadian version, of course. So I think I bought Tesla at, let's see, 340, 32, and then I sold it at 346.80. So I made about $7 on that, just, holding it for about a day. Um, let's see what else I have here. Oh, so yeah, I want to talk to you about this one. I also, on a day that on Wednesday or Tuesday actually, I actually also bought some Palantir options. So again, let's see if I can find that one. Yeah, I bought it on November 13th. I bought the first contract for $115.75. This was a Palantir call option that was going to expire on December 6th. So I have basically what this means is that I have until it's December 6th for this option to go to $70. If Palantir goes up over $70 by December 6th, this contract would be in the money, meaning it has intrinsic value. It means that when the contract expires, the person who holds this contract can buy at a cheaper price, which is $70. Okay, so for this contract to really be valuable, Palantir has to be worth more than $70 because then you're buying a discount and you're making profit, right? So I bought this one at 115 and 75, and it just went down like crazy. Okay, we saw on Thursday, right? Palantir just went down like crazy. Um, and that's probably maybe it was this option. Now that I come to think of it, maybe it was this option that made me also sell my entire Palantir position, which was not correct. I probably should have, did something with my call options, not sell my actual position. Now I'm kind of, coming in a new all-time highs for Palantir. But anyways, when Palantir went down, I decided to pick up some more at 49.75. Okay. So that kind of averaged me to about 83 cents, I believe. And then Friday, when there was that news of Palantir going onto the NASDAQ, this option finally became much more valuable. So I sold my average of 83 cents at how much did I sell it at? Let's see. 95 cents. Let's see. Is it 95 cents? Yeah, 95 cents. Okay. So I did make about I think I did the calculation earlier yesterday, about $30, $40 on that. It was just good to get out of that option because it did drop about 50, 60% since I first bought the first one. But again, it just went up more like crazy. If I held it, it would now be at 249. So at my 80 cents, 83 cent average, this option contract would have tripled if I held it. But can't be greedy. Also, no one has a crystal ball, right? When you make a profit, especially when it comes to options and how risky options are, like all the time, options go to zero, right? Rather than go to zero, take the profits when it's up, 20, 30%, and just be happy with what you have, right? Sometimes when you chase, I mean, I've done so many options. Sometimes when you chase, a really high price, like a double or triple on your money, you end up losing everything, and then the price just goes to zero. SQ was another one that I just kind of bought as well, just because I think I just have a knack for picking up stocks in the short term, like within the minutes, within hours of a good price. So I did snatch up some SQ at $83.85, 5 shares, so about five, spent about $300 in that. And then when SQ was down like a whole lot, but when it went back up to about 84.41, sold that with 5 shares. I made about $4. So as you can see, like these little bits that you kind of swing trade in a very short time over the day does make a bit of a difference. Anything that doesn't really work out in your favor, you can either just hold it, um, or just wait for it to turn, right? Because ultimately, if you're buying quality companies or companies that will go up, then there's not as much risk holding it. So, what I really do is making sure that I have a very strong watch list. I have a watch list where I have about 150, 200 stocks that I follow, and then when I look to see the bad performers, I see which ones I want to buy, right? For example, looking at right now, I probably don't want to buy Alibaba because I think Chinese companies with the Trump administration coming in won't do very well. But you look at the ones that you do want to buy, they're undervalued, or they're probably moving down for no really good reason. And swing trading that in like the short term also helps you build up your account. All right, last thing I wanted to talk about. And I actually wanted to show this in my last video, but I actually started a trading log, basically like a diary of all the swing trades that I do. So there were a bunch of trades that I did in the last 2, 3 weeks, which I never actually told you guys, just because there's so many trades that I do throughout the week. So I just wanted to show you the trading journal, what I did there that I actually never really talked about. Um, So here's my trading journal. Basically, I am keeping a journal of some of the swing trades that was a little more significant, that I had the plan of always swinging from the first place, and it was something that I was going to hold for a couple of days. Also, some of you who are following me quite closely know that I had Tree in my non-registered portfolio, and I kind of got rid of Letting Tree. It seems like it doesn't exist anymore. You guys are probably wondering what happened to that. Well, Tree, like I said in the last video, I like it, and I see it as a good play as the mortgage business is going up. But with just how slow the price action was, I sold it. So, I really dollar cost average on Tree. And then this week, when Tree was at about $54, up to 55, I just kept on selling it. So, just to look at how that trade went, that swing trade went, I started buying Tree on October 10th. Eventually, I ended up with an average of $52.17. I eventually sold all of my positions on Tree on November 13th. So basically just, 3 days ago on Wednesday. And I at an average of an exit price of $54.30. My whole time was about a month. And I made about a $221 on profit. So see, even with stocks like Tree that's been going down on a downswing, as long as you have cash on reserve, it's going to save you, and you're able to still come out with a profit, regardless of does the stock price go according to your expectations or not, right? Other ones that I did that you guys never really knew about because I didn't say. October 18th, I bought SoFi at $10.47. Great average for that time. I made about five accumulations, and then I sold after about a week and a half. I'm not sure if this is some kind of typo. I think this is a typo. Yeah. So I think actually did that on October 28th. That's why it says 1 day for the whole time. And I sold October 29th at 10.99. Yeah. So that makes a little more sense. So just a quick 1 day hold, and I made about $35, 77 to be exact. October 18th, I also bought SoundHound with an average of $5.17. Man, just looking back at a month ago, like SoundHound has been going up like crazy, and I'm glad that I was able to capitalize. So I got an average of $5.70 with 6 accumulations on October 18th, and after 10 days, I sold at an average of $5.60, which gave me a profit of $215.45. Lastly, I did buy that TQQQ. I think that was probably even showing up in my portfolio in one of my earlier videos. Yeah, I bought that on October 16th with an average of $73.71. I still remember what happened. TQQQ went down, so I had to hold it a little longer than I wanted to. But on November 6th, we saw a huge surge in the stock market. I sold at 76.23. Basically, I held that one for 3 weeks and I made $50.42, which was pretty good because it didn't kind of move in the way that I wanted to. Right after I bought TQQQ, the stock market just dropped like crazy. So you know, was able to get out of that one with a profit as well. So yeah, I'll be keeping this journal as well just to keep updated on some additional trades that I do that I don't end up remembering to talk about in my videos. Lastly, also just wanted to show an update on what's happening with my Blossom. Okay. My Blossom is up and running. Now when I click my, display picture on the top left, it's finally showing up. Thank goodness it wasn't showing up in the last video. So you can see, everything that I'm talking about is for real. All of the holdings that I have that you saw in my Wealthsimple also exists over here. You can view all of my stocks over here: Microsoft, Amazon, SoFi. Basically the same thing. And if you follow me on Blossom, you can keep up with my trades. Just because one thing I love about Blossom is that whenever a trade happens, you get notification of it right away. So as you can see, you can find out exactly when I bought into Palantir. You can see when I sold SQ, when I invested in Spotify, XSU, Amazon. Selling SoFi at a 2.08% return, selling SoFi again at a 2.08% return. The MasterCard sale that I did, me buying more Coke, AMD, selling Tesla, the whole entire position just for that swing, more investments of Spotify, SoundHound, Amazon. I'm just scrolling because there were a couple of big trades that I made. So yeah, I did actually do SCM side. Oh my god, see, this is what I mean. I do a bunch of trades and I don't remember talking about it. But yeah, SCMI did get in a good price. Sold it for a small gain as well there. Sold my USCL in my non-registered account just because I wanted to put that money into one of those Canadian versions of those American stocks that I bought. So yeah, sold Google because I actually just wanted to think that was just a mistake buy. Why was I buying Canadian Google when I have the US one? So I sold that and I bought something else. Again, always at a gain. I never want to sell. I never try to sell at a loss. This is when I sell Palantir. Oh yes, Toast also did a swing on that one. I think I bought in like low 40s and I sold out 40.15. Here's my ENCL. That one was sold at a good position. So see, this is with me selling at tree at the lowest price that I did. See, I did 52.64, but also I did sell at 54s as well, 54.65, 54.03, 54.99. That was a good one because the highest this week that tree went was 55.00. So I got 54.99. That was pretty good. Yeah, and you can see exactly when I invested in SoundHound, when I sold my ENCL, which is at a 3.69 return. All the time, all the time when I sell these stocks, that usually at a gain. All right, so that's it. If you would like to follow me on Blossom, you can do so. You can see my account name at the top at XULEE918. I'll be hopefully updating you guys soon with another video as the stock market is probably expected to rally up going into Thanksgiving and into year end. So hopefully there'll be some good news for that. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. I've started looking at my analytics and I saw that, there's about 93% people looking at my videos that are not subscribed. So, if you subscribe to me, it'll help me a lot. Also, you get the quickest updates on my latest video. See where this portfolio is at. We are going for $200,000. I am stoked. So much more energy than what I did a couple videos ago. And yeah, that's it. Everything I want to share. Thank you. See you in the next video.